Hey, my friend, this is one of the most powerful sessions I can teach you. I'm highly invested on your journey, and that's the reason why I'm showing you everything you need to know when it comes to creating your own financial plan. And this is literally a session financial experts out there charge you 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, or even $10,000 for, because there's so much richness and value in that content. And I'm not just giving you the theory and talking about the topic. I've also created this workbook you can use. So straight after this class, you can use this workbook, print it out or put it on your iPad, on your computer, and follow through step by step. So that's all you need to do. Watch this training, use the workbook, do the homework, take the action steps, and you're good to go. I mean, this is so powerful. This is real transformation, what we're talking about, and pure gold, because people, as I said, charge you a lot of money for the stuff I'm giving you for free. And I'm doing this because I'm invested in your journey. I really want to see you proceed. I really want to see you move forward. I really want to see you have success in your financial endeavors. And as I said in one of the earlier videos, if you just give me a feedback, hey Manu, what you told me in that video was amazing, it really made a difference, then I can do this. And I feel so great about myself because this is why I'm doing this stuff. This is my mission, to help you, to empower you. So let's dive into today's training, how to create a financial plan. And it's not dusty, it's not dry. It's a really fun exercise we're doing today. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So as I said, something special for you today, why you need a financial plan. So let's have a look why it's so important. The second thing is the core elements of a strong financial plan. So you have a checklist you can go through, and if an element is missing, you're missing out big time. So with that checklist, you have it instantly. You can apply it. We tie it all together, building your own wealth roadmap, and then you got some homework, taking action. As I say, as always, it's so important to implement what we learn, because if we just get the theory, it's not really helping us anywhere. It's just like gaining more knowledge, but we need to apply the knowledge we have. That's true power, that's true wisdom. If we apply the knowledge we have, move into the direction, make it worth, and suck every valuable thing out of the session, and embed it into our own journey. Very powerful stuff today. And now let's have a look why you need a financial plan, why this is essential. And without a plan, you're just guessing. Most people struggle financially because they lack clarity, and that's something I want to change with you together in this class today. That we don't lack clarity anymore. We have a clear picture. We know where we are. We did the session about our goals, so we know where we want to go. And now we just need to create the strategy, the plan that actually provides us with the roadmap from our current situation over to our goal, hitting milestone after milestone. So empowering stuff what we're doing. You're not guessing anymore because you know exactly what to do. You know exactly where to follow along. And listen, the successful companies out there, they understood something that most politics and most individuals don't understand. You need to have a plan if you want to move forward. It's not just about having the money, it's what you do with the money. And that's why successful companies, they create so much strategy. They hire so many people to make the best plan, financial plan they could create to move into the next year. And every year, every beginning of the year, I've worked in a lot of big international companies, big international banks. Like the last couple of weeks of every year and the first couple of weeks of every year, it's all about the strategy for the new year. It's all about the plan, the financial plan. What kind of steps do we do? What kind of they budget down everything, nitty gritty, down to the little thing, like how much do we spend on, let's say, the Facebook social media team? How much do we spend on our commissions to pay for our affiliates? How much do we actually spend on toilet paper? I mean, even stuff like this is considered in a good financial plan for a big company. And why do we think as individuals we don't need it? I mean, if they need it to have success, so do we. And for us, it's even easier because we're not playing with big numbers at the moment. We're playing with numbers and costs they can actually put on one spreadsheet and just move forward with that. So without a plan, you're just guessing. Leave the guesswork, just have a plan, move forward, and you feel so much more secure and in control in what you're doing. Wealth is built intentionally. So this is something you need to have intention to build wealth. It's not just about like, yeah, I'm gonna go in that direction and maybe tomorrow I'm gonna make $1 million. It's not working that way. I mean, if you play the lottery, you might hit a jackpot, but if you're not clear in what you want to do with your money is gone faster than you can think. And you want to be in control of your financial situation. You want to be in control of every dollar that's going in and out of your calculation system, of your budget, of your wallet, and you want to be in control of your financial future. So you need to be really intentional of building wealth. It's so cool if you actually see the picture in front of you. You have your goal and you want to say, well, I want to create the amount of X so I can actually do this and this and this. So you have clear intention in following that way. It's super powerful if you understand that principle, because where your focus goes, energy flows. And that's something I learned from Tony Robbins as well. You see a lot of Tony Robbins quotes over here because there's so much truth behind that. But if you focus on something, you will actually go in that direction. It's like swimming. If you're swimming, and you're just doing like your curls over there, and once you put your head to the right side, you automatically turning towards those side, and you're swimming in the right direction. If you just look at the right side the whole time, you're swimming in circles. And people outside will think, well, is this guy crazy? It's just swimming circles. But you actually practicing something that is very powerful, because where you're looking at, that's actually where your attention goes. Where your attention goes, you're intentional and you go in a direction. So super, super powerful when it comes to focus, having a clear focus. And that is something we're talking about in depth in week 3 as well, because focus is our superpower and we can use it. It's not about how much time you have, it's about how much clarity you have and how sharp your focus is on one goal, and that makes all the difference. It's your roadmap to financial freedom. So a financial plan is your roadmap. I use the analogy a lot about like Google Maps. You have the GPS, says you, that's my current location, that's where I want to go. There's some roadblocks along the way, maybe there's an accident, and your roadmap is actually guiding you from your current situation over to the next milestone until you hit your major goal. And then you can set new goals and just keep on going that way. You level up with every goal. It's just like a super fun game to do. That's why we had that session about gamification. Don't underestimate gamification in our journey. That makes the whole thing more fun. And we're gonna really enjoy what we're doing today if we include gamification as part of it as well. So this is something very good. I said in this bullet point as well, helps you stay on track and avoid costly mistakes. And we all know that if we're not using Google Maps because we think, well, I know the way anyway, and you're just like driving and towards your goal, and you miss out on maybe a traffic jam, and now you're standing there for 2-3 hours, and you think, well, I could be home by now, but now I'm standing here. And that's the fantastic thing I really love about those navigation systems. If they're like current with feed with current data, they tell you exactly where you have like obstacles on the way, and give you a faster route. I really don't like that with the older system where you just have like the navigation system itself, but that's how we want to do our financial plan. We want to be current in our data, in our information. That's why it's so important to regularly update our financial plan. And one of your action steps at the end is to do this once a month, because you want to be in your current state of information, to update your information, to make it quicker towards your goal. Because the faster you reach your goal, the faster you reach your milestones, the faster you're progressing on your journey. And this is very powerful. Small, consistent action means massive result. And this is also something a financial plan gives us little action steps. And sometimes we underestimate the small steps towards our goal. We think, well, it's just that one thing. It's just like saving $20 here. What can that do for my financial freedom? Let me tell you, my friend, it does everything with your financial freedom, because it's literally every little seed we put together we throw on the field, and then we harvest big time. It is super important to have a plan. It doesn't need to be a perfect plan. It won't be the perfect plan because there is no perfect plan. So say goodbye to perfect plans because they don't exist. There's just a smart plan. And a smart plan is an agile plan, a plan where you update from time to time, where you have a look, where you use your current information. I mean, if you get like a raise from your current job, you want to consider that in your financial plan. If you have like some unexpected costs, you want to calculate that into your financial plan. If something happens, you want to know exactly what's happened. That's about being front-footed, as I always say. It's super important to be front-footed, to be intentional with what we're doing. So a financial plan, a really powerful thing. Now let's have a look at the core elements of a strong financial plan. And this is something from the experience I have as a financial expert. Something you need to have in your plan is your income strategy. It's how you earn and maximize your money. So if you currently are on one job and you have one income, you put that into your financial plan so you know what you're planning with. But you can also put in what you're expecting. Or if you have a side hustle and currently it's not giving you any income, but you can expect like in the next month something, then you can like make a little asterisk and put it aside so you know exactly this is income I expect in the future. And listen, a financial plan is not a budget. A financial plan is the overall tool we're using. A budget is part of a financial plan. So this is something where everything ties together, and we're going really deep into the budget thing and debt repayment in week 2. But for now, you need to have a financial plan, an overall plan, like bird eye view perspective on your financial situation. And this is what the financial plan does for you. The second thing you want is an expense management. So where your money is going and what needs optimizing. This is something we learn through a budget, for example, because now you know where every dollar goes. But not just where every dollar goes, what can I save in my budget? What can I save when it comes to my expenses? Do I have unused subscriptions? Do I have subscriptions I might love to have, but I don't need them, like Netflix subscription and Disney Plus and a lot of other movie watching and series watching subscriptions, and you only can watch one movie at a time. I know you can, if you have more screens, you can do this simultaneously, but there's no benefit in that. So you want to kick back and watch one thing. Why don't stick to one subscription if you have like 4 or 5 of them, and then you save a lot of money along the way. And you can look for special offers. Sometimes you have special deals where you can save some money. All this stuff ties down into the expense management. Yeah, and it's very powerful to have a look where my money goes. And if you write down really diligent everything you spend for a whole week, I promise you, it is a big task, but a very, very revealing task, because now you know, well, I didn't know that so much money actually goes for takeaway coffee. It's crazy. I'm spending more on takeaway coffee than I actually spend on like saving money a month. And this is crazy because you should not spend that much money on something that can be done cheaper if you're on that journey. I'm not bashing on takeaway coffee. I love to have takeaway coffee from time to time. Every Saturday, my wife and I, we're taking our little pup, go to the beach, and our tradition is to go to this wonderful cafe in Raglan, have a Raglan roast, like a really good coffee, and like a good sandwich, and maybe some sweet treat afterwards, and then we go back home. That's part of our Saturday routine. But if you're really struggling with money, you shouldn't do stuff like that. You can deserve that after you've done your homework. So once you've done step 1, 2, or 3, and then you are in the position to treat yourself with something like that. Listen, over years, I was not able to afford something like that. And I was always like looking envious at other people. But at that moment, I was just like, no, I'm on my own journey. I have to save down. I have to double down on saving. And I changed my financial situation. And now I'm able to do it. Could I invest that money? Sure, I could. But what is life if you don't enjoy it? So we want to be enjoyable on the journey as well. And there's stuff you can do for free. So that's something you can have with your expense management as well. You can replace costly stuff with cheaper stuff and cheaper stuff with free stuff. So like going into the park is free. You don't need to go into the zoo and spend like $30 on a ticket if the park is for free, or the beach in a lot of countries is for free as well. I know in Germany you pay money if you want to see the water, which I think is just incredible stupid, because it's just nature. But okay, but here in New Zealand I can just go to the beach, it's for free, and I can have a great day over there. So you can optimize your expenses, and this is part of the core elements. The next core element is savings and emergency fund. And I can't stress this enough. An emergency fund is not a negotiable. It's something you need to have. Same with proper risk management, which we cover later as well with insurances and stuff. You need to be sure that if something happens, you are covered. Because if you're not sure that you are covered, and I'm not talking about like covering up to like $500,000. That's not what I mean. It's about even if you only have an emergency fund with $1,000 or $500, it gives you peace of mind. And peace of mind is a state we want to be in, so we can actually move forward and be free to use our other money as seed money to invest freely. Because if we're always like, oh, something could happen, I can't do it, you're not easy in investing, and that's when it's not playful, and that's when you mess up, and that's when you actually make stupid decisions, and that's something we want to change in this boot camp. So savings and an emergency fund, very important. And as I said, the emergency fund is a non-negotiable. So if you don't have one, make it your homework to save up first, let's say $500 or $1,000 on a dedicated savings account. Don't touch it. It's really just for emergency. Next thing is debt reduction and management. It's eliminating bad debt and leveraging good debt. So I know that in some cases I say don't go into debt at all, because for most people this might be a very smart move to do, because there's often a misconception between good and bad debt, and there's often a misconception between an asset and a liability. And if you say, well, Manu said there's good and bad debt, maybe getting a loan for a new car is a smart thing because I have an asset. Maybe it's wrong. You don't have an asset, you have a liability, and you're losing money straight away once you buy that car. And that's something you don't want to do. You want to actually be smart when it comes to debts, and you can leverage it along the way. But this is something I would say it's more an advanced technique. And if you're still struggling with credit card repayments, with student loans, and all the other stuff you have on your credit, you need to clean out first before you learn and use good debt for building wealth. If you are at that stage, it's a magnificent wealth accelerator, a very powerful thing. And I'm even thinking onboarding a couple of specialists for special trainings when it comes to that along the journey. But for now, let's keep it that way. Debt reduction and management needs to be part of your financial plan. The next one is the investment strategy and growing wealth through smart investing. And I know so many people are just focusing on investing, and so many marketers out there selling you courses about investing, neglecting all the other important parts which need to be part of your financial plan. A lot of people out there selling you stuff about budgeting and saving and stuff, but neglecting the investment part. You see, we're doing this whole thing holistically. It's so powerful, so liberating when you know everything ties together into your personalized strategy, one big picture. And if you know, okay, I'm set with personal strategy, personal finance, I'm set with my mindset, I'm set with the investment strategy, here you go. You are in the best position to move forward and have the biggest success in your financial world, and everything is working out for good because you are in control in what you're doing. And if you neglect those thingies, it gets really bad. So investment strategy needs to be part of your financial plan. It's not just about, I would like to invest in crypto. Be very specific about it. So how much can you invest every week, every fortnight, every month? Where do you invest this money? So let's say you have $500 every fortnight to invest. Where do you delegate this money? Where is this money be fruitful for you? Is there like a specific area where it's a little bit more risky, but the reward is higher? And maybe you want to also invest into something that's a little less risky with a smaller reward, but brings you balance in your portfolio. Very powerful having that. And the one I already mentioned earlier is protection and risk management, ensuring your wealth is secure. This is something literally 99% of people out there neglect. because they think risk management is boring. In Wealth Builders University, I have a full 7-hour masterclass about risk management. I've been a risk manager by trade. I was doing risk management at big international companies like Deutsche Bank, and I was actually using the strategies the big banks are working with and translating them and breaking them down into personal finance strategies. And I created that masterclass. I recorded that whole thing. So if you're part of Wealth Builders University, you can access the masterclass instantly, watch the whole 7 hours, and I promise you, you'll be a better investor afterwards because you know all the sneak and hacks and things you can use to actually, the tricks and hacks you can use and apply them into your personal strategy so you feel much more comfortable going for higher risk investments. Also, it helps you to analyze, okay, where are those risks? You identify risks and all this kind of stuff. And what's also important for protection is insurance. It's not about just ensuring that you're investing the right way with your money to make your money secure, but also insurance for health, for example, because if something unexpected happens and you suddenly owe the hospital $100,000, that's a big expense. That's a big risk. You want to eliminate those big risks if you can, and insurance companies really help you with that. The best insurance is the one you never need, and I know you pay for it, so make sure the value in exchange is worth it. But that's something very important, very powerful. We talk about this in depth in week 2 when we talk about insurance. We talk about risk management big time in week 4. I love to talk about risk management. It's not dusty, it's not dry, it's very powerful because it actually liberates you to become the best investor you could be. So those are the 6 vital core elements of a strong financial plan. Now, the wealth roadmap, and we want to build your own plan. So this is tying it all together into your own strategy. And I actually created a financial plan template for you. So you can download it or use the Google Drive version, fill it out online. You can print it out. It's yours to use for your own strategy and implementation of your strategy. You just need to be part of our Wealth Builders Clubhouse to download it. The download link is here under the video. So if you're watching this on YouTube, join us at Wealth Builders Clubhouse. Check out the classroom. Underneath this video, there's a link leading you to the Google Drive where I share this wonderful template with you. So the first step you want to do is define your goals. So what does financial success look like for you? And we've done the financial goals session in one of the earlier modules. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. You need to define your goals. Your goals need to be according to SMART principles. It need to be tied to your values, to your value system. It needs to be something where you actually want to go towards, and then you just have done step 1. You defined your goals, which is very powerful. Step 2 is assess your current situation. So your income, your expenses, your assets, your liabilities. This is everything tied together to your GPS location where you're currently at. And yes, budget is part of that as well. But this is like that you know, okay, I am currently here. That's where I want to go. And then you have pretty much everything you need to identify the key priorities that needs to be fixed. So if you are like over leveraged in debt, so let's say you have to pay a lot of credit card companies, you have to make sure that you pay your student loans. Maybe you have a personal loan from your friend or your parents, which I highly advise never to do because it's really ruining your relationship with people because there's a dependency. And even if you repay everything, there is like this little mismatch in the relationship. So if you can avoid it by all means. So identify key priorities. So what needs fixing first? So if you don't have like a emergency fund, this is a very important thing you should prioritize. If you're over leveraged in debt, you should make sure that you actually tackle the debt the right way. Here at Wealth Builders Clubhouse and in university, we have a class about how to repay your debts. I don't want to go too deep into that right now. Also in week 2, we cover this also in depth. So it's a big topic because it's actually holding so many people captive because everything around us is screaming at us. well, you can finance it later, buy now, finance later, and it goes from education over to the next TV, over to your holidays, everything you can finance, and no one tells you about the ugly reality that you put yourself in handcuffs for the next couple of years because you want to have something right now. Step 4 is building your investment strategy. Where will your money grow? So this is literally then how to move from your current situation towards your goals. So you know your key priorities along the way. Now you know your investment strategy. So how can you actually build that amount of money along the way to reach that milestone, to reach that goal? Step 5 is set clear milestones along the way. So something you can measure. And if you say, well, Manu, my dream is having $1 million because with $1 million, I can do X, Y, Z. So make it specific. And the first milestone would be if you have nothing saved, let's say $10,000. So you have something to start saving. By the way, the first $100,000 is the hardest milestone to achieve. It is harder to reach $100,000 than when you are at $100,000 to reach the million. It sounds weird because 900,000 is the gap between 100,000 and a million, but because the first 100,000 is so hard to get because it has a lot to do with mindset shift. Once your mindset has shifted and you reach those $100,000, compound interest is your friend, as I told you before as well. So reaching the next 10x is so much easier. So this is something I'm going to have a full class on later along the bootcamp, but have clear milestones, make them measurable for you so you know exactly on that journey where you're currently at. Step 6, automate and optimize. Make wealth building a habit, not a chore. So not a chore, so you need to gamify it, make it something that's automatically. The easiest part is automated savings. So whenever your paycheck arrives on your account, just have like an automated trigger from your account over to your savings account so that money is out of sight. And if you're saving up for specific investment, it's great. You can also do like a regular savings into ETFs. So it's, getting automatically deducted from your account over into your portfolio. So things like that really help to make it smart, make it easy for you, so you don't have to think and make a decision every time. Because there's something called decision fatigue. I love all these side teachings. Decision fatigue is something, it's the main reason why Mark Zuckerberg, for example, always wears the same shirt and the same pants. Pretty much. And Steve Jobs did it as well. And the reason is because in the morning, if you stand in front of your big wardrobe and you have to think, well, what do I wear today? You're already burning a couple of decisions. And the more decisions you make throughout the day, the worse your decisions become. And the problem is that most people, and that's why they suck at their finances, most people make important financial decisions after a hard day of work in the evening when they scratch their heads, do their budget, and think, well, I'm going to make this and this decision. Yeah, all your brain power on making great decisions are gone. So you want to prioritize them early in the morning. And if you automate and outsource those things, you don't have to decide on them anymore because it's a predetermined decision. It makes it so powerful because you don't have to decide anymore, or what kind of ETF do I pick now? No, there's an automated plan behind it. It's a strategy already included. So every fortnight, $150 are going into, let's say, the S&P 500. You don't think about it anymore. It's going automatically. By the way, no financial advice. And I'm personally not invested in the S&P 500. Okay, let's keep going. Taking action. So how do we tie it together for you and make it your personal strategy today? Access the Wealth Builders Financial Plan template. As I told you, don't reinvent the wheel. Download the template I built for you. I put a lot of effort and brains into this template. I made it really, really handy for you. So you just have to fill out a couple of things, follow the strategy, follow the guidance. As I said earlier, if you're watching this on YouTube, jump into our Wealth Builders Clubhouse, jump into the classroom, and underneath this training session, you find the download link. Include it into your Google Drive, maybe make a separate folder for your financial journey, for the bootcamp, or print it out, have it like in an old school folder system, or have like a folder system on your computer. I highly recommend be structured from the beginning of this bootcamp, because I will give you so many resources along the way. And we're talking bootcamp like 60, 65 different modules, all important. And I know so many people out there, they're selling you like 2 or 3 of them and tell you this is all you need. No, it's bogus. You need all of them, because it's the full journey: mindset, personal finance, and investing. And it's so powerful if you know all of them. And then you get so many resources. Don't be overwhelmed right now, because we follow through it step by step by step by step. And I'm breaking it down into easy, digestible steps for you. So be smart. Don't save it like on your desktop and then shuffle it around. Have one specific folder, but that's just like a smart tip aside. So use that template I created for you. Also use AI and budgeting tools. I show you exactly how to do that in week 2. But this is something very smart. We can leverage AI into our strategy. And yes, I know there's always like this data concern, so you need to be comfortable talking to AI about this, except you have your own model offline on your computer. If enough people are interested about that, I can show you how to do that as well. But the thing is, AI is something that is very powerful, and we're stupid if we don't use it, if we don't leverage it. So even if we don't want to share any personal data, you can strategize with AI together. And I got a couple of sessions in this bootcamp where I show you for specific things, for example, how to use AI for market research, how to make AI your personal money coach, and all this kind of stuff. So this is something you can leverage and you should leverage. Also budgeting tools. There are some paid options, some free options out there. I don't think there's any difference as long as it works for you. I'm old school, working with an Excel template, but currently I'm in the talks with a friend. Maybe we create an app for you guys, so you are able to include the budgeting with the app. So this is something I believe very powerful as an action step. Accountability matters. So if you feel comfortable, share your plan in the community and get feedback. And at the end of the Wealth Builders Financial Plan template, you have a little homework, and part of it is sharing in the community. I highly encourage you to do this, because it keeps you accountable. And one example I want to give you is if I have this dream, and I often had dreams about things I want to do, and I never shared them. And because I never shared them, there was no peer pressure about this dream. But if I tell you what my current dream is, you will, in the next couple of weeks or months, ask me, Manu, what about that dream? One thing, for example, was my wife and me going to New Zealand and living in New Zealand. So moving to New Zealand. And the thing is, I didn't tell many people in the beginning because I was scared. I was scared that the whole process doesn't work out. And it was like a 12-month long process to get like the residence visa for New Zealand. And there were so many boxes we needed to check. A lot of money went into this process. And we had like 7 or 8 times we had an obstacle ahead of us where we thought, okay, that's it. That's a big no. But but giving up and no is not in our minds. So we said there is a way, and we find that way. And now I'm sitting here in New Zealand. I'm really grateful for pushing through and not allowing obstacles to tell me otherwise. And the thing is, along the first couple of months, we were so scared to tell anyone. So we didn't tell anyone, because we didn't want to be losers in their eyes. Because, yeah, you always say things and then you don't do it. I mean, you wanted to travel the world and you stopped with Europe. Yes, I stopped with Europe. It was fun. It was 2 years, but I got bored. I wanted to do something again. So I had to go back to Germany for that purpose. And now and then after a couple of months, we're like, we need to burst it out. We need to tell people about this, because otherwise it's just like in us. It's also eating us out from the inside. It's like, I don't want that to happen. So I told my friends, we told our family. I mean, eventually they had to know anyway. And we even made like posts on social media. And then along the way, people literally came to me and said, well, Manu, how's your journey with New Zealand going? And I could talk to them about it. I could talk about the obstacle, because having a goal, having a clear goal and pursuing the goal is nothing to be ashamed of. And it could happen that something is in the way, and the resources you would need to overcome that obstacle are not worth the goal. So you say, well, I adjust and have a new goal. It's totally fine with that. There's no problem with that. It's not failing. It's adjusting. It's being agile. It's a superpower if you can do this. So tell people about your goals. Tell people what you set out to do, because it does something with you. Because it could be any moment someone coming around the corner and asking me about the goal I was committing to, and I'm still on track. And this is something so powerful. Few understand. Accountability is a real superpower. And yes, it's making yourself vulnerable. It's making yourself open for someone else. It's sharing something that might be a little secret in your heart, but it's okay. Share it in our community. It's a safe place to do so. And we all want to celebrate you along the way. And we all want to celebrate you once you hit the milestones and the goal. And we all want to be here for you when there's an obstacle coming, because think about how cool is that. There is a goal. You want to set, you communicate, that's my goal. And then you hit that obstacle and you write that post in the community, say, well, guys, this was my goal. Currently, that's in the way. I can't see how to reach that goal because that blockage is that big. I have no clue how to go through. Now you got a couple of other people. You have more brains looking into your situation. You join our weekly live call and you present us with that problem. And we like a massive group think tank focusing how you can burst through that obstacle. It's powerful. You're not like on the hot seat for embarrassment. You're on the hot seat for empowerment. And that's something I want to encourage you. Accountability matters. Next thing is iterate and improve. Your financial plan is a living document, not a one-time setup. I told you it in the beginning. You want to actually put a monthly appointment with yourself in your calendar and make it an update session for your financial plan. Save the document or the link to the document and make it a monthly thing to update it, because you want to be agile when it comes to your plan. You want to have the current information, the brand new data that makes your plan worth following. Because if you're running on outdated plans, nothing worse than that, because your data is outdated and you might run into that direction, but that direction might be the right one because there's like a 5-hour traffic jam in front of you and you're hungry and you want to go home for the dinner. It's like nothing is worse than being in traffic, stuck in traffic, when you're really hungry or when you really have to pee. Both happened to me in the past. Summary. A financial plan is your way forward. Without direction, you won't reach your destination. We covered that one. The best plan is the one you start today. So today, there are no excuses. Do your homework. You're allowed to have a sip of water. You're allowed to have dinner or breakfast or lunch whenever you're watching that video. You're allowed to have a quick bathroom break, but do this exercise today. No excuses. It's very powerful. And even if it's late for you, still do it. You can reassess tomorrow when you're fresh and when you had a good night's rest. But it's powerful if you implement today. It's like falling from a horse. You need to get back up on that horse straight away. I'm not riding. I have a lot of respect of horses and a lot of respect of people riding horses. It's still on my bucket list. At one point, I will do it because I heard so many scary stories about people falling from horses. But I know the analogy, and for me, it's like really something powerful because you don't want to give in to fear. You want to straight away do it. Take the action, because then you hardwire your brain into success. You're just bridging something that would stop you. And that's why I want you to do your homework straight away without any excuses. Third point, financial freedom is a process. Regularly review, refine, and optimize your plan. This is very powerful. As always, if you like that session, if you like me, if you want to support me, if you want to help someone else out there who's insecure about joining us, give me a testimonial. wealthbuilderscc/testimonial, video or written one, both fine. Let me know what you think about the trainings. Let me know what you think about Wealth Builders community. You see, I'm giving it my all. Sometimes I'm even crying like right now because I get so emotional and so invested in your journey. And for me, it's very, very great to get some feedback from you. So I highly appreciate if you go to wealthbuilder.cc/testimonial, spend 2-3 minutes on something that makes a big difference for me on my journey. Abraham Lincoln, and I think this actually nails our whole talk today. Give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. Preparation defines the outcome. Our financial plan is the preparation that defines our financial destiny. And don't underestimate the power of a plan, even if the plan is not smart yet, but it is a start because you grow in the process. And this is something very powerful when you do something and you want to do it right, you want to have success in the first go, you need to have a good preparation in place, and you only have one life, and you want to use that life for your best advantage and for your best forthcoming. So I highly recommend do your homework right now. Sharpening your financial axe is a very powerful analogy before you start chopping down that tree. Act now, be unstoppable, my friend. I see you in the next video, and I can't wait for your feedback on those classes, on this training. And again, if you're on YouTube, you're watching this training, hit the subscribe button. I love you for that. And also join our community. It's completely free. You get hours of training, you get live support, you have an amazing bunch of people cheering you on. So this is the place you want to be for your financial journey. Can't wait to see you there. And when you're there, just say hi in the post section, introduce yourself to us, and we can't wait to include you in our program and what we're doing over here. Okay, see ya.